The roadmap, Benzinga's new NFT show. We've had some great teams featured in past episodes. The team behind Pixel Vault, Art Blocks, Robotos, The Doge Pound, Oni Force, Crypto Dads, Lazy Lions, Supduck, Wall Street Bulls, Sappy Seals, and more. We also did an NFT giveaway. Stay tuned. We got more NFT giveaways coming your way soon. So make sure you smash the like and subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel where you can get more NFT content. We've got a great show today. Joining us, we've got the team behind Cryptoon Goonz. Looking forward to this one. Let's get it started. This is the roadmap. All right, guys, as you heard me say, this is the roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show, currently airing Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let me go ahead, bring on the co-host of the roadmap, Maz. Maz, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? First of all, shout out to the Goon Squad here in the comments, man.
In the house. Look at that. It is flying. And I mean, Maz, I'm glad you brought that up. We love our layout here on the roadmap, right? You guys can see your comments right there on the screen as they are posted. So feel free, chat with us all throughout the show. Maz and I love reading the comments. We love hearing questions for, the Cryptoon Goon Squad later on. And then when we get to the later part of the show and we talk news and headlines, we love hearing everyone's opinions and hearing about upcoming projects. So shout out to the Goon Squad in the house, though. Maz, we talked about Cryptoon Goonz earlier this week, right? This is a project that recently minted, and it's been a pretty successful one with a large following. So we've got over 15,000 in the Discord, 13,000 followers on Twitter, and a 0.285 floor. What can you tell viewers and listeners out there that may not be familiar with this project before we bring on the team? What are your early thoughts on this project?
Yeah, so first of all, right at the gate, this project just came out hot. Right when they minted, we saw, blow up on socials. We saw a lot of influencers talk about it. And the art specifically is what I like, myself. I'm a big shoe guy. I'm a big music guy. So there's a lot of correlations to the shoe game, which I'm a big collector as well. You see behind me, I got some Jordans in the background here. So I thought that was cool personally for me, which makes me like the project. But there's a lot to talk about, man. And, we'll talk to, one of the guys, Jesse, who is in our Discord, and he talked about this project before it launched. So it was cool to see that rise, from, just hearing about it to seeing it just blow up so fast. So, I'm excited for this one, Chris. These guys seem awesome, and I can't wait to get right to it.
Super excited. Also, Maz flexing with the Jordans.
You gotta have them in the back.
Compared to my nice blue background here, so I'm gonna have to get some memorabilia or something to put up here to flex on the next one, or maybe my Christmas sweater that we talked about earlier this week. So, Maz, I mean, I can't even keep up with this chat anymore. The Goon Squad, they're going crazy. So I know that they're here not just to hear from me and you, they're also here to, hear more from the Cryptoon Goon Squad. But before we bring them on, let's get hyped up, everyone. Smash the like, subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel, and we've got a treat for you all. Let's go ahead and play our trailer for today's interview.
Let's run it. These always get me hyped. Let's go.
Go.
Yo, that is lit.
Straight fire. Shout out to our producer, Alyssa, working, behind the scenes, but she helped create this trailer for today's episode. And I mean, Maz, what better way to bring on the team than rolling that sweet trailer?
Hell yeah, let's bring him on. Let's go. Dude, I'm hyped.
Let's go. All right. So joining us on the roadmap today, we've got Jesse, we've got Ryan, and we've got Sean. What's going on, guys? Welcome to
What's
the
up,
roadmap.
guys?
How's it going?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Can we roll back that music?
Yeah, I saw you guys jamming.
We were all going. So yeah, we might have to. Maybe we'll play you guys out with the trailer too. That'll be a good way. So Alyssa, remember that we'll play the trailer at the end of the interview too. It looks like everyone in the chat loved that trailer. Again, shout out to the Goon Squad here in the chat. Guys, let's dive into questions here. Before we get into Cryptoon Goonz, just wondering if you all can share a little bit of your history in the NFT space. What were some of the first projects you bought? What projects are you currently in? And what does that NFT history or crypto history look like? Jesse, let's start with you here.
Yeah, I started out in crypto in early 2017. Got in on Ethereum at $45, and Ethereum was just like mind blowing to me as a software engineer. That's my background, and I was like, this is such a cool idea, and so I was kind of sold right away. You could see the history of my base. Each day I was getting more and more confident, and but yeah, CryptoKitties was really where I got my NFT start. I was buying kitties, breeding them, having some fun with that, and then obviously the bear market was super hard, like really depressing, just depressing, and so I had to kind of put crypto out of my head for a while just to get through and hold the whole time, and yeah, so then Top Shot comes around. I think that the article heard around the world from Jonathan Bales at Lucky Trader, and that all kind of pulls us all into Top Shot, and then from there it's been a fun ride. I got in on Pixel Vault early, buying Punk's comics, and just chopping it up with you guys in Alpha Mint and having a great time. Creature World, that's another big one I'm a big fan of too.
Yeah, awesome. And shout out Alpha Mint, a Discord that we all share in common here. Yes. Ryan, let's turn over to you. What's your NFT history look like here?
Yeah, pretty similar to Jesse's. Got in a little bit before the quote unquote shit coins, if you will, and just like the ICO craze and the amount of white papers that I read on some utility that I thought was going to change the world was insane back in 2017. And just had a good friend at work who believed that Bitcoin was going to change the education system and the finance system and what it could actually do. So it was kind of cool to see this really him just theorize about what its utility is. And so that kind of got me into it. And then from there it was just, I don't know. I was just a kid who liked to gamble too, right? So I've been sports betting for a long time and playing DFS, and so it all kind of added up. And shout out to Bales again, CryptoKitties. I mean, that was my first thing. I have this random tweet where it was just what am I doing with my life? And it was a picture of me breeding cats, and I was just I have no idea what's going on here. I never got into Top Shot, mostly because basketball is not my thing. It wasn't a technology or an NFT thing. I was just I don't understand the economy system and the trading mechanics because I don't follow basketball. So I just didn't understand where my edge was, because once again, investment, looking at it from trying to find my edge there. And then I would say people started minting punks, and you started to see punks kind of come up, and I was like, wow, this is actually really cool technology. Got into it, and then honestly, the first time that I ever made a real first quote unquote major investment was actually in the Knights of Degen. That was the first time that I bought multiple NFTs, really looked at it from a long-term investment standpoint, not just a flip. And then I think the rest is history, just going from there. And Maz, I got to say, man, we all need to strive to have that kind of a studio. I mean, you got the sound panels, you got beautiful background lighting. You've even got the good effect with the Elgato camera, whatever camera you're using with the software to blur behind you and get the depth of field. I got to step my game up. Inspiration.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I kind of did it last minute.
He's got his Jordans. He's got his Tesla tequila bottles there as well. So, he's flexing on all of us right now with that background. So, Sean, how about you? Last but not least, your history in NFTs here.
Honestly, what's funny is I'm the least experienced of the team in NFTs. I approached the whole thing on an artist perspective. So, it was just my best friend Joel was into it more than I was, and he's the one who started it with me. And he was like, messaged me just one day and was like, you should check out this NFT stuff. This looks like it's going to be, the future. And that got me like looking into it, and it's super interesting. So I created my first project about a year ago, and it was just me drawing stuff and just uploading them one by one on OpenSea, not knowing exactly like how it worked. But it was a lot of fun, and it was cool to that was my introduction into the whole blockchain, like art, like NFT space. And the more I looked into it and saw how it worked, like building collections, I was like, I have to, this is so cool. I have to do this. And I just started working on the goons. I had the idea to change up the faces and the bodies and stuff. And just started drawing layers and making them, it was months of work, but the end product I was super happy with. So I was like, I have to put this out there. And as far as crypto and all that stuff, I honestly could never really afford to invest that much into crypto. I did a little bit, and I got into some a little bit of Discord spaces and dipped my toe in a little bit, but I didn't know as much as I do now, obviously. But it's been a wild ride. It's crazy.
Perfect. Sean, let's stick with you here. You shared a little bit of how this project, came to be, but talk to our viewers and listeners here. How did this team, connect and really join up on launching this project and now running it? Behind the scenes, everyone working together with their different areas of expertise.
Yeah. So when we started, it was just me and Joel looking into what makes a project work. And we already had the artwork. We were just what else is involved? And we started the Discord. Building a community was a big thing I wanted to do, and a good quality community where people actually care about each other and not just making money or whatever. So we started out, and we didn't have a whitelist. We didn't have the crazy hype pre-sale type stuff. We just wanted to do a pre-sale that's available for everyone. If you join the Discord, we didn't do any crazy paying influencers to just shill our stuff to bots, because it didn't feel right to us. We just approach it as genuine people who just want to put something cool out there. And then I think Joel, he runs the Twitter, and I think he just commented on something that Ryan said one day, and he saw the artwork, and he was super into it, and he was very involved in the Discord and helping us out immensely, because we kind of didn't even know what we were doing. We just wanted to put this out there, and he just helped us out so much, and we had to add him to the team. And then on the actual art reveal day, because we were doing the pre-sale, was the art's not revealed until a certain day, and then that's when the price goes up. You can see the artwork and stuff. I set the whole thing up, just being completely honest. I didn't know how to do any of it. I just watched some YouTube stuff, and it kind of got messed up a little bit. And then we brought Jesse on that day. Ryan found him. It was amazing. I was freaking out. Ryan was super cool head. It was amazing. And then as soon as Jesse came on and helped us out and got that all cleared up, and we revealed all the artwork and just talked, it was a 6-hour Zoom call. And we were all Jesse is amazing. We need him to be a part of this. And it was just everything came together. It was just the Ninja Turtles, the four of us, they work so well together. It's great.
Love it. I mean, yeah, we always love hearing about, how the teams come together. And, some of the recent interviews we've done have been similar to this, where, some of the key figures come on, after the early days and, or even after the mint. So it's always cool to hear, why people were brought on, what their expertise are, and how that really, helps the project have that lasting power.
Yeah,
absolutely. Guys, so I want to talk a little bit of just how fast, and organically this project has grown. So when you guys, launched, it seemed like FaZe Banks, GaryVee, they all started tweeting about it, talking about it. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about the experience behind that? Have you guys talked to them behind the scenes, or how'd that work? Because I know you guys are big fans of not paying to be shilled, by influencers, which I love. So share the experience. How was that like for you guys?
Sean, you want me to take that one since you're not answering?
I could. I just didn't know who should answer that one. I'll start off. And
yeah, you start, Sean.
So, I mean, with those, we didn't even talk to Banks at all. Like, he just liked it and tweeted about it. We were just super stoked on it, but we had no contact with him. Still haven't. Same with pretty much how all the big name influencers who have promoted us and all that stuff, we haven't even really talked to them beforehand or anything like that. GaryVee is different. He hit me up and wanted me to be on the DNA space, but yeah, it was kind of just out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, how'd that feel, being the artist and designing, this project, and just right off the gate, you have GaryVee and these big influencers, talking about how they love the project.
It's insane. Never thought it would happen. And
yeah, I'm sure.
A lot of it's because they're drawn to means a lot to me. It's the main focus that I had, just designing the stuff and creating the collection.
That's awesome. What about you guys? Jesse, how did it feel, man, seeing GaryVee, FaZe Banks, tweet, posted on their IG stories?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I got this message from Ryan in a Discord. Does anyone know how to expert in IPFS, which is how all the NFT artwork is stored decentrally? And 10 hours later, we're literally on Zoom 10 hours this entire day, fixing it, and we set up a really cool system that people loved, where we were doing 10 a.m. art reveals every morning, and so that became a cool community event. And yeah, so one morning we're waking up for 10 a.m. It's GM and art reveal time, and FaZe Banks is out here tweeting about it and posting Instagram stories, and that's actually how it all ended up going down. And it was pretty wild. And honestly, I got to give Ryan a lot of credit, because there was one tweet that he put out that really kind of was I think the final domino that fell. I'll hand it off to Ryan for talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think to go backwards, what you guys are talking about is, we never ever once wanted this to be some FOMO pump and dump cash grab, when floor, when moon. We've 100% wanted this to be long term, years and years and years. We want people investing into Sean as an artist and this team and this company that we have, not necessarily this one specific NFT, right? So to us, that meant, let's let this art resonate with people. Let's find people who love this art, and then we'll go from there. And so there was this slow minting process, and we loved it. And this, or the slow buying process, and we did 1,500, public mints, if you will, up until art reveal day. And then the whole shebang with art reveal day, which turned out we ended up making, it's sweet, now we get to do these 10 a.m. reveals every day, and it's this great event. And during this time, I just from an investor standpoint, I'm tracking wallets. I'm seeing who's buying everything, not just Goonz, right? So all of a sudden I see there's somebody bought 125 of them, just straight up minted, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden we see some of these higher profile, quote unquote, whales, 7 figures in NFT, portfolios, or mid 6-figure portfolios. And so we obviously can see that there's some traction where people are recognizing potential, and I'll say it, potential blue chip you know, in long-term stuff. And it was because dude, the amount of people that reached out like, hey, let me promote your project. I take 1 ETH to do this, or let me do this. I'm like, no, man, this is not who we are. We're not going to do this. That creates so much FOMO. And then boom, you get people like DZ. So like, I'm big on education, and so is Jesse. And so that was one of the reasons why I think it just worked out so great, but just constantly educating people. And so I kind of did this tweet thread, and I had listened to like, I know who DZ is, and we've chatted and things like that. And all of a sudden, I think DZ just caught it, tweeted one thing about it, and that was it. He was just like, I'm minting these, just minted 10, gamble. And he was like, do your own due diligence, but these are sick. I'm vibing. And then I think that gave the confidence of FaZe Banks. And like, to be real clear, I actually really appreciate what both of them did, not because they pushed the project, but because they recognize the responsibility that they have as influencers in the space. FaZe didn't say anything when he minted 10 like a week before. He just like left a comment in one of our replies, and like, yeah, a couple hundred people saw it or whatever, but there's a big difference between a public comment and a reply. And so once FaZe saw that DZ was in, he felt comfortable enough to say, hey, if DZ's in, then yeah, I think I'm actually onto something, and shared it with his following. And so there was such a great, I really respected that from just understand, like the dumb Batman quote, with great power comes great responsibility, or whatever that quote is, right? So like, Spider-Man, thank you. Whatever universe. So like, I think that is don't clip that. I'm gonna get so much crap from people now. That was one of the greatest things, was like they respected the influence that they had, and then that was that. I mean, we woke up to, we went from 50% to 100% mint out in literally like hours after that. And so that was just such a whirlwind, such an insane moment. We didn't even have like our merch store set up yet, because we were kind of like, if we model and project like when we anticipate to mint out and meet specific roadmap milestones, it was like weeks from then, and we were good with that. That's what we wanted. Well, I mean, obviously getting the full mint out and all the hype was insane, but like, that's not what we were planning for. So just sorry, very long-winded answer, but I think context and detail is just important behind what we're doing as a team, and what we're doing as a company, not just this product, which Jesse has said, or not just this project, which Jesse has said so elegantly before. So I just want to echo that statement. But it was insane, man. I mean, to show up on FaZe Banks' story and like, I don't want to steal this from Sean, but like GaryVee is the first DM that Sean has ever received on his Twitter account. The first DM that Sean ever got was a smiley
that
face.
That is a flex right there.
Yeah, like how sick. Like let's mint that and sell that. Let's be real clear. Like that, like that's absolutely insane. So so to have somebody fall in love with Gary's art, and you want to talk about somebody understanding what they're doing when they tweet something. GaryVee knows what he does when he puts something on his timeline, and he has to go to sleep with that. He has to understand, like, people are scraping for ETH, to be real clear. That's why people flip. People are saving for weeks. Like, some people just bought their first Ethereum and did their first NFT with our project. So there's so much responsibility. Henry Lau, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's gonna be the new meme for you guys. By the way,
I'm never gonna.
It's publicly out there now. I don't know if you'll get away from that one.
I definitely won't. And my boys will be upset because they're big Spider-Man fans. Yeah. But so it's just been so fun. So I'll stop talking and we can move on to the next topic.
No, that's well said, Ryan. We appreciate the way you put that out there for us to, kind of see the context there. One thing I love about this project is right from the get-go, you guys have been very transparent. I've listened to a couple of your spaces that you guys have done, specifically the GaryVee one, like you mentioned, where you just talk about the background of this project and how, you guys could have shielded this to the next level with all the influencers talking about it. And, really pumped and dumped it, but you guys chose not to. And that shows a lot about, how you guys feel about the project and the NFT community as a whole, which I think is awesome. So just talking about that, how do you guys, any tips for marketing then, because we see a lot of shilling, the NFT community is all shilling, all FOMO. The approach you guys have taken is different and it's been successful. So can you tell us a little bit more about the marketing behind the scenes and how you guys just plan to continue to ride this wave like that? Just be transparent.
Yeah, I think you want to continue momentum. You need to capture the momentum that we have and continue to push that going forward. And that is lining up like Sean's going to be with Gary in 12 hours at Marshmallow. And I understand that is seems like a party to people, but it's not. He's just networking. And so those are the types of things. And I saw somebody ask, are those people still holding? Yes, I keep track of all those wallets. Not only are they still holding, they're still buying. Gary bought one yesterday for 4 ETH. So yes, those people are still buying for what it's worth. But Jesse, do you want to chime in on some of the marketing efforts too?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was about us building our community, right? It really starts with the art, right? Like Sean put out his art into the world and it just resonated. So at some point you have to create artwork that draws people in, and you can't just no marketing you can do can kind of create that. Sean's been working on that. Sorry for the airport, by the way. Sean's been working on that his entire life, right? That's been since he was 5 years old, working on that skill, all the way through being a tattoo artist for 10 years. He's been working day in, day out on that skill. And so that, you can't just turn on that skill overnight. And so that's where it starts. But then once the people are drawn to that art, we need to nourish it, right? People come in and we need to nourish that community and grow it together. And we have people making art for each other in the Discord. Someone was animating other people's goons, and he animated so many other goons that he got enough tips to purchase his first NFT. And and this was just such a cool, and this was not the only case of it. This was just happening all throughout our Discord, and people were just vibing, and we're vibing in there too. I'm on voice channel late at night on Saturday, hanging out with everybody, talking about teaching how Ethereum gas works, just sharing and giving and giving and giving. And I think that's the formula. You just got to give, and keep on giving, and then eventually you can have that ask where we want you to come in, or whatever it is down the road. But giving until you can no longer give, I think is the right way to build a community.
Sean, do you want to touch on continued efforts?
And I got to bounce and get on my flight, so I don't miss it.
Yeah, so we're going to say,
don't miss your flight, Jesse. You got some concerned people in the chat right now. So shout out to the Goons looking out for you. Jesse, thank you.
We'll see you in Miami, fam. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you, bro.
See you in a few hours.
Sean, do you want to touch on, Maz, one of your tailing questions there was, what are we doing to continue to ride that momentum and push forward with marketing efforts? Sean, do you want to touch on how we're bridging the digital and physical gap? So what we're doing to actually bridge those two, because we are genuinely focused on the art. And so just some of the staking and tokenomics that we're doing for the redeeming, if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, I can touch on a little bit. You know more than I do about the whole tokenomics part, but basically building a token to reward people who are staking the NFTs, to give them access to exclusive merch and stuff like that. One of one artworks from me personally, stuff like that. Stuff you can't get anywhere else, basically. Ryan knows better than I do how to explain this. I'm not a very good public speaker.
So we want to truly bridge that digital and physical gap. I'm still a big believer in holding things and physical artwork, and I think that is important in this space for probably the next 5 to 10 years. I don't think it'll just be truly digital stuff until maybe the wealth or the generation of my kids enter the space, who are 8 and 10 and things along those lines. So as they start to accumulate wealth as they're 24, 25 and collecting, that's also when I think all this sandbox and metaverse stuff comes into play too, right? Really pays off for people who are investing now. But we're introducing staking. So as we're on the roadmap show here, as we talk about our roadmap 2.0 and what we're doing, we're introducing staking that will allow you to lock up and vault your goon or goons and earn a token. And in exchange, you take that token and you get to go redeem experiences. And when I say experiences, I mean things like exclusive limited drops of merch. That's like a big focus for us as a streetwear. We want to be globally recognized from like a streetwear brand aspect. So there will be very limited drops that you can only get by redeeming this specific token. And we haven't decided on a name. I'll just call it Goon Coin for now because it's easy. And that's just one thing. That's just like, quote, in all honesty, to be transparent, that's just like some of the low hanging fruit that we're going to do. The bigger things that we really want to do are going to be like one of ones from Sean, like a beautiful 6x6, acrylic painting or whatever material Sean is going to use it, watercolor, whatever it might be, his preferred method as an artist, to create this beautiful canvas painting that we will stick in, like beautiful, like packaging, and just make it this beautiful experience that you get, and you get to hang that thing up. We'll have him write the token ID on it and sign it. Like that's the stuff that gets me really excited, where we bridge these two worlds together. And so like other simple things too, like we're partnering with Infinite Objects and we're creating a portal and we're going to use their API. We're also hiring an animator and we're going to do these fun animations of people's goons that they can redeem to get that animation of their goon, take that over to Infinite Objects, upload the MP4, get it shipped straight to them, and we cover the bill. Right. And now you've got this beautiful Infinite Object. If people who are listening don't know what that is, just go Google Infinite Object NFT and immerse yourself in it. And it's so rad. Like the MagSafe connection that they do to make it look frameless and cordless. And you can get like 11-inch displays and it sits there and it's a sick animation. And the cool thing is like, that's it. You can't put another video on it. This isn't some digital frame that you upload and change of your kids. This is like solidifying concrete, kind of like taking on the whole blockchain methodology and terminology with like just the one thing. That's all you can do with it. And then you could also sell that with your goon, and it increases the value of your goon. So like, as we talk about increasing value for our holders, that's a big part of it too. So, and a lot more things too, but I think you guys have another show. We're probably already 6 minutes over. So I want to make sure we're good on time.
I know we're great on time. You guys are fun. This is awesome. Question really quick. Was this the first time talking about Goon Coin, or have you guys announced it before?
We talked about it on our town hall for the first time. What's today? Thursday? Yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
So this is kind of the first time that I'm getting a little bit more into it, other than our town hall yesterday.
Love that, man.
Let's go. We love getting the news flow here. So yeah, no, you guys are fine on time. We actually go till 3. We usually run over. So if you guys got time to stick around, we'll keep going here. One of our favorite questions to ask the teams behind NFT projects is, what are your favorite traits? Sean, I know this may be a difficult one for you, as the artist, but we always ask, right? What are your favorite traits for Cryptoon Goonz?
Yes.
Maybe what are some underappreciated traits or some hidden traits? Give us what you've got to share here.
Well, a lot of my favorite ones are like the more common ones. So like the right there, like the unbothered eyes, like I love those so much. I drew it and I was like, I gotta keep, I think there's another like variation of those eyes, but I don't know why, I just love it. And of course, like the off-white shoes are huge. It means a lot to me, especially now.
Yes.
And I don't know, like everything that's in there is just something that means a lot to me. So it's hard to pick a favorite. It really is.
What's a hidden gem? Do you have a hidden gem in any of these that just, maybe has not been talked about, or that you kind of put in there that nobody knows yet? Like a hidden trait or something or one trait that you particularly just love that's very underrated.
An underrated trait. I think people pretty much recognize like the traits that I really, really care about. Like, they notice it right away. So that's hard to say. I mean, I guess that's actually one I love that no one really talks about a lot, is the carrot.
Oh, the carrot trait. Yeah.
There we go. Carrot.
That's actually, Carrots is like one of my favorite like clothing brands, so it's just like a little nod to that. I don't think anyone even realizes that. There's also a chain with a carrot on it too that represents that.
Yeah.
You know, everything just has so much meaning.
Yeah, we know it's hard to pick. We do. We just always try to ask. Ryan, how about you? Favorite traits or underappreciated traits?
Big fan personally of Always Tired, which is the eyes. So like the Always Tired eyes, which is definitely a nod to Post Malone and hip hop, just that kind of culture. But like, I love those. I've been tired for the last 15 years. So like it's one of those things that it might sound a little corny or a little cheesy, but like it resonates. It hits home. And it's actually not even a Post Malone thing for me. Like I'm genuinely not the biggest Posty fan. There's a couple of great tracks that I like, but like it just resonates that like, yeah, we're grinding and I'm so tired. So like that one hits home. And then like some of the Rick and Morty inspired traits are really cool too. Like the burp mouth, I love the blue hair. I grew up skating, so like the checkered Vans are like, there are so many things that resonate. And that's why I think people love this project, because it's like, I don't think it matters what you do. You could be 45, 55, you could be 18, you could be my age of 33, and like you can find something, whether it's like the duck hunt gun, or you're a Star Wars fan and there's a late lightsaber in there, or you love pop culture or streetwear and you have your off-whites or your Jordans. Like that is what people absolutely love. And then you have like the psycho carrying the bloody knife, you know, and it's just like, it's just so fun to go through this. And I actually even think that guy has the burp mouth too, which, you pulled up that trait. That makes sense. So yeah, there's a little bit for me, but I think one thing that like Sean told me as we were going through the minting process, which I don't know if he's mentioned to anyone else, but like he made the gold background, like he didn't introduce as many of them into the project because he knew people would think that it was rare. So instead, I think there were some other palettes, color palettes that ended up actually being more rare, which I thought was kind of cool, of just like, the golden ape, right? Or you have this sick golden grill. Like that's just like so played out. So I actually, what is it? Is the red the most rare? Did that end up being the most rare? Yeah. So like,
the red.
I thought that was kind of fun and cool. And so like, I don't know, that's not necessarily like Easter egg, because it's very clear there in the traits, but like context behind it is kind of a little bit of a puzzle. So I thought that was cool.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing those traits, guys. I do want to make sure everyone in the chat saw this comment that Jesse has made it on the plane. I know there were some worried people out there, but we're all good. So shout out Jesse for joining us, and of course making it on his plane. There's a lot of talk of, shoes, right? And we've seen some teasers on Twitter, right? We got Vans, we got other brands. Is there plans to get into, footwear? Have you talked to any of these companies about collaborations? When will we hear more details on this plan?
I mean, yeah, we're still, obviously working on all this stuff. We're trying to get through our roadmap still. So that's definitely something we plan on doing.
No leaks. There's no alpha coming here.
No alpha. We try. I mean, come on. We've got to at least fish a little bit, right? So
absolutely. I wouldn't respect you if you didn't. So I'm glad you did.
We appreciate that. All right. Well, here's another fun question we always like to ask teams, right? We hear so much about, the floor price of projects, right? But outside of the floor price, what are some of the measures of success that you guys judge this project on? Sean, I'll start with you. How do you measure the success of this project?
Oh, for me, it's just the Discord is a big part of it. The community is huge. Like just hearing people talk about how much they love the project and how much it like resonates with them is the biggest thing for me. Like it's so huge, and it's really probably the most important thing that's come out of this for me.
Awesome. And Ryan, how about you? How do you measure the success of the project outside the floor price?
I don't even think the floor price needs to be considered as measured of success. And I want to celebrate our wins. I think we have been successful so far in the way that we did all of this organic. We focused on our art and our community. So to me, the measure of success here is that we have built this extremely positive, educated community. That to me is a big measure of our success. This isn't bad mouthing, and this isn't something that I like to do, but I want y'all to go into a couple discords that you're in, and I want you to see that number up top says 35K, 40K, 50K, and it doesn't mean anything. Having these big numbers doesn't mean anything. That's just all hype,
Exactly.
FOMO, pump and dump stuff. We have this beautiful, and not to be real clear, there are plenty of discords out there with that number that are also great, successful projects. So like, but just seeing a big number in Discord doesn't mean anything. We have 15,000 people in our Discord who are active, educated, non-toxic community members. I mean, it's just phenomenal to see what's going on in this Discord of people being like, hey, I'm in Miami. Other Goons people want to meet up. I'll get an Uber to this. And oh, hey, let me buy your coffee when we're there. And this is literally stuff that I'm seeing happen while I'm on the show with you, let alone people helping them set up hardware wallets in a channel the other night to do security best practice. So like that is a massive, massive measure of our success so far.
Love that. I just want to touch base really quick, guys, on the art that you guys were talking about. I think that's one of the biggest things of the project is how it resonates with people, myself included. I bought some of these on OpenSea, and the first thing I was looking at is the shoes. The anime was my favorite, Goku, things like that. And I bought this project not thinking, oh, how can I flip this? It's more so, it just resonates with me, and I just put it to my account, not thinking I want to buy and sell this. And I think you guys have done a great job with that. So I want out for that because I think that's awesome to create that environment in a very, short-term mindsets NFT world is tough. So, shout out to you guys. And I think the art speaks for itself, and you guys are a great team also running this. So, shout out to that. So yeah, speaking a little bit more though about community, right? We always like to talk about Discords. And I think, you brought up a great point, Ryan, about, the numbers don't matter. What really matters about a Discord is when you go in there, you make friends, right? A lot of times we speak to our, metaverse friends more than we speak to our in real life friends. So, tell us a little bit about the Discord, how you guys are making it, more community based as opposed to just, when you go to Discord, it's like, oh, what's the floor price? Pump the floor price. Can devs do something? How has it changed from that to kind of like a, just hangout spot?
Well, we've all all the developers, we've been in there, we're in there all the time helping the community out. Like Ryan said, they're educating everybody. Like we're part of it, and they see that we care about, the community. And then I think that lets them, be able to grow as like, this is a real genuine thing. I think that's the most important is like the genuine people that can actually like care about each other instead of just caring about how to make money on NFTs,
Exactly. No, well said. So one last question before we take questions from the chat here. So, our show is called The Roadmap. So we always like to kind of see if we can break it down, right? You guys mentioned tokenomics, Goon coin coming soon. Is there anything else we can expect in the roadmap, in the next quarter or so, that you guys want to talk about here?
Yeah, I can lead here. I think one of the biggest things is collaborations that we have in play. We have a couple very, how do I say this? We have high profile meetings in Miami this week. We have animators who are well known that we are interviewing and working with. And that's not just from like an infinite object tokenomics thing. That is absolutely more to just help create value around. Yeah, these people want me to leak so much stuff. It's not happening. I'm not doing any leaking. I think our community treasury is up to 72 ETH, which whatever ETH's price is at right now, but it's well over 300,000 USD. And so what we do with that as a community will be massive. There's all different types of things that we can do. We can fractionalize, we can do guerrilla marketing efforts where we buy this massive spot and set Sean up in an Airbnb for a week and let him do this insane mural in Berlin. Like I know that sounds like we're kind of spending our money frivolously, but like that's an important thing to do, right? And that is art. That is being art centered at its core. So I would say that is a big deal. And then probably there's other things that I'm not gonna get into in regards to what we have planned with some of the collaborations, but just expect us to be a globally recognized brand, not only from a streetwear aspect, but also from an art aspect.
Love that. Ryan's tough. No leaks here, huh?
Yeah, the chat.
They usually get one out of me.
The chat is betting. I mean, Ryan, you said you're a betting guy. The chat, I think, was betting on the over here on how many leaks they were going to get today because based on what they're saying, it sounds like there's quite a few leaks coming. So, but we appreciate all the information we did get. Sean, go ahead.
I was going to say I'll leak the Miami merch that we made for this weekend. You guys want to check that out?
Oh,
let's go.
Got some hoodies out here.
Awesome.
With the Miami colors. That is dope. Are you guys excited for Miami? Tell us a little bit about Miami. Let's talk about it. What's the game plan this weekend?
I'm excited. I mean, we're gonna check out some V Friends meetups. I think that'll be really awesome.
Yeah, Sean is downplaying it. Sean, stop downplaying it. Sean is going to the V Friends party that is pretty damn exclusive. Marshmallow's DJing it. He's gonna meet up with Gary. Like, it's just what Sean is gonna do is gonna be absolutely great tonight from like a marketing and networking standpoint. And then there's so many other things that we're going to do that I literally can't share about, like some of the guerrilla marketing efforts that we have. Like, you guys will see it. Like, you don't have to wait and see.
We got stuff planned yet.
Love that.
All right. Well, before we let you guys go, I know we're running out of time here. Let's just ask a couple questions from the chat. Again, shout out to the Goons. We got a question earlier from Ramro, it looks like. Is there a way to help support beyond just buying the NFT? So maybe they're fans of the project, they're fans of the team. Is there another way they can support this project? Would that be, when merch drops or, other collaborations? What would be your answer to that?
I mean, there's a lot of of ways people can support. I mean, that's kind of like a pretty broad question. I have a lot of people messaging me all the time about like wanting to be involved, and if there's an opening for someone that we would need, we would definitely look into that and help that person out and to be part of this. But it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think there's a couple different ways that people can support, right? There's the monetization standpoint of it, and supporting us through revenue generating, but you don't have to do any of that if you just want to come hang out in the Discord and be an active community member. And maybe you are really good at understanding and explaining the Ethereum blockchain, and you see questions and just dive in and give technical deep analysis, right? And be a subject matter expert in the Discord with that. You don't have to own to come in and hang out. So like, just come in and hang out and be an active community member. Like, that's a phenomenal way to support. We're going to do merch for non-holders. So like, you can just go buy merch if you want to support in that way and also get some sweet threads in return. So like, that's another way. But in all honesty, the biggest way that you can support is just being a part of the project and owning an NFT from us.
Love it.
Love that. Another question here. We have one from Matt Hagen here. How much for a tat, Sean? Any discount for a Goon hodler?
So I closed my books recently so I could, focus on this project. So I get a lot of that, and I can't answer it because I don't even know, how much I'm going to be able to tattoo in the future. So, but I could do only Goons tattoos for the rest of my life, and I'd be pretty happy. So
that's what I was going to say. When is going to be the first Goon tattoo? I'm sure we'd see that sooner or later.
Oh, we'll see it pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it. Sorry we kept you a little bit later here, but shout out to Sean, Ryan, and also Jesse, who's currently on a plane. We appreciate you guys joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule. Have fun in Miami. We'll talk to you soon. Maz, anything else to add before we play them out with that trailer once again?
Yeah, I want to say, I appreciate you guys. We do a lot of these interviews here with a lot of teams, and you guys are so real and just genuine. And I love that, especially you, Sean. I can tell just from an artist standpoint, you just love the art, and I can feel it. And I think you guys are a great team, and I can't wait to see you guys, in the future, just come back and talk about all the accomplishments, man. Yeah, let's get it.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us on, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you later, man. Take it easy, guys. Have fun in Miami.
All right,
thank you.
Alyssa,
Cheers.
one more time that we got to play that
Let's
video.
run the trailer.
Get
Let's
it.
run it back.
Love it.
All right, Maz. I mean that was a fun one, right? You just talked about it with Sean, the transparency, the honesty, the passion, right, in the project, so real. I mean, we love that. Like you said, we've interviewed lots of teams, and it's always cool to see, the passion from the creators and the artists. So I'm a big fan of this project, and I want to see it be successful. And shout out again to the Goon Squad joining us in the chat for today's interview.
Yeah, shout out to the chat. Such a strong community. You love to see it. Again, we do a lot of these interviews, and we always notice the chat. And I think the Goon chat here has been one of the best, most engaging communities. So,
Yep.
shout out to you guys. If you guys love this content, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share this. We're always looking to provide NFT content here. So, yeah, man, this was a great interview. I'll probably listen to it again, when I'm doing
Definitely.
cardio later. It was a lot of good info there. So, yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
and like Matt said, yeah, share the video. And if you're in another NFT project, another Discord, let them know about our show, right? We're always looking to interview the teams behind projects. I mean, you heard it, right? We're not going to shill projects. We're going to be real. We're going to talk about how the project launched, and talk about the questions, the artwork and stuff. So I mean, that's why we're doing this show. So again, smash that like if you haven't, and subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel. Maz, before we go, let's get into some news and headlines, right? So a follow-up on a big one that we talked about was, this was yesterday we talked about, right? Adidas. So Adidas had some leaks, right? Where there was a picture of Bored Ape, Punk's comic, and G Money all sharing, Adidas merch, right? Well, today Adidas hosted a Twitter Spaces, and they also shared a video showing them leaping into the metaverse. They said it's time to enter a world of limitless possibilities. And also, surprise, surprise, Maz, Adidas profile picture on Twitter is now a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT. There it is right there. And not only is it a Bored Ape, it's a Bored Ape outfitted with some Adidas sportswear. What do you think of this? Is this a surprise to you at all that Adidas bought a Bored Ape or got a Bored Ape after kind of these leaks happened? And are you excited to see Adidas go head on in the metaverse here? I mean, look at this video.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised they bought one. I'm surprised they bought one just now. I thought they would have bought some a while ago. I mean, it looks awesome. I tuned into the space. It was a big space. It's validating everything we've been talking about, Chris. It's validating every project that we've seen in the last, 4. It's validating, the metaverse. We're seeing this mainstream join, and they're coming on head on, and it's great. I think Web3 is just the beginning. And seeing these companies join like this is exciting for all of us who have been here for a while. And it's exciting to see new people join, right? Because Adidas doing this, think of how many new people are going to buy their first NFT. Think of how many people are going to join their first Discord. Think of how many people are going to, it's just great to be here, so early, and just see this happen in real time is something really cool. And that's a cool ape. I like it. So I mean, the gear, Chris, would you buy that jacket if they launched that jacket?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't own a Bored Ape, but I would totally buy that and rock that. I mean, let's go. I want to see more of this.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a great time, man. It's a really great time for that. Speaking of Bored Apes, Chris, did you see the Bored Ape Yacht Club? They announced their mobile game prices. So let's pull that up here. We saw the registration for the Bored Ape game with the Mutant Ape game. It was two different games. So yeah, they announced the prizes for that, and then top 500 scorers for each game will be eligible for prizes. So if we look here, what is it? Apparel, a couple other things here.
Yeah, I mean,
Pinball.
you got a car. There's the mutant mobile there. We got a pinball machine. You know, there's some pretty cool stuff and some merch that's exclusive. You know, I love this, right? And again, the top 500. So not just one person.
There we go.
Right. I
Yeah.
actually was a little surprised. I thought it would be a little bit more where, like, you know, only the top 3 or 4. But I think the fact that 500, I mean, they're going to see some strong engagement on this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. All these look cool as hell. And are these NFTs or are these going to be like, is that a real car that they're going to give away or is it going to be an NFT?
I thought it was a real car. I guess I don't.
Oh, the candle look cool too. Yeah, the candle looks sick. Like, I mean, that's going to be a dope car. I mean, geez.
A converted 2002 Honda Accord, it says, decked out in Mutant Ape Yacht Club.
Performance not great. Smell terrible.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, that looks pretty sweet. Again, I mean, Maz, I'm looking forward to seeing people share videos of playing this game, right? And also to see how far are people going to go to win this game. You know, do you get unlimited plays? So is it going to be, you know, the people that play over and over and learn it? Do you only get a certain number? You know, is it just your high score? Is it your average score? I don't know all those details, but I'm looking forward to seeing more from these games upcoming.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got next on news? Oh, we had a couple mints yesterday to talk about. So one that minted last night was Ape Kids Club. And Maz, I mean, we've talked about so many ape projects, right? And there were already some of these, you know, Lil Apes, Baby Apes, different ones, right? But this one, I don't know, something stood out about it. It was a little bit different, a little bit more on the 3D side of things. I don't know. And no surprise, it did well, right? It had a strong mint. We got a floor at 0.21. They haven't revealed yet. What do you think of this, Maz? And also, you know, are we ever going to see, you know, some sort of baby ape come directly from Bored Ape? Or can these derivative projects keep living on, you know, since there aren't baby apes out there?
Yeah, I mean, derivative projects are always going to have a place in the NFT world, it looks like. Yeah, these don't look like Bored Apes. You know, they have like their own style to them, which is cool. You know, they're cute as fuck. So yeah, you got the, you know, vomit out the mouth. I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
You know, I like them. There's a lot of demand for them right away. You know, there was high gas wars for this. Yeah, personally, I don't know much about the project as far as the community, the roadmap, but just looking at the art alone, you know, there's always going to be a market for, it seems like, apes and cute, right? At least
yeah,
now,
and this
right?
combines. Great
Yeah.
point, Maz. It combines those two things. Again, yeah, I wasn't able to mint these last night, but it was definitely a project I had looked at, you know, and based on the artwork, I just had this feeling, you know, that it was going to do well. Also, I mean, they had a decent following on Twitter and Discord, which isn't always a measure of success, but sometimes it certainly helps to get the brand awareness out there. Maz, there was another mint that happened yesterday that I know you know more about. So let's jump into that one here.
Yes. So on-chain gaming, right? So Defenders of Dogewood minted yesterday. And it was a pretty interesting mint, Chris, because most of the supply was given out through, and then there was only about 400, 500 ifs available to the public, which there was a gas war. And there was, I think, a couple guys got a good amount of supply there. But this is interesting because we've had Ether Orcs, you know, we've talked about them. We've seen the Wolf game that GaryVee has bought and a lot of influencers have bought. So it's interesting to see on-chain gaming come again. And it seems to be popular, right? It seems like this project, you know, you're staking them and there's gamification behind it. So actually, Chris, on our night show today, it looks rare. The show I host on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have the team on tonight, and we'll ask them a lot of questions as far as, the gamification behind it, the gas fees, layer two, how this competes with all these other on-chain games. So it's going to be interesting to talk to them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you guys heard it. If you're not subscribed to Benzinga's YouTube channel already, I hope that you do, because we not only have the roadmap, we also have Looks Rare, which Maz runs on Thursday nights. And as he just said, I mean, this project minted yesterday, and the team is coming on. They're going to talk about, the gamification, right? And, it's an area that's been so hot. I know I'm excited to hear more about that. And Maz also interviewed the Orcs team, right? And we saw that really pick up steam. And this project was actually, you could actually use Zug, right? To mint.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. You can use Zug, and the EtherWorks team kind of gave them their blessing behind it.
Yep.
They tweeted about it. So it's cool to see these, not being competitive, almost like embracing the market as a whole, realizing that this is going to be huge. So yeah, no, I'm excited to talk to him tonight. Should be fun.
Definitely. All right. Well, bridging the gap between NFTs and stocks, right? I mean, Benzinga started as a stock market, news site. We, of course, have branched into cryptocurrency, NFTs, many other areas. I got to share the news that I actually wrote about. There is a new NFT ETF available for the first time ever. So if you don't know, an ETF, an exchange traded fund, is a basket of stocks, right? So think of buying one stock and getting exposure to multiple stocks, right? So this ETF owns 40 holdings, and all of those holdings have to be exposed directly to NFTs or crypto mining. So, I mean, we have companies that we've talked about before, Maz, like Funko, right? They have their own NFTs. We got Coinbase, which is launching an NFT marketplace. We got Playboy, who's doing NFTs. We got Vinco Ventures, Dolphin Entertainment, some of the smaller companies working on NFTs. It now trades under the ticker NFTZ. You can see my article there that lists all of the holdings in this fund. Maz, what do you think of this? I mean, again, we're just seeing, and DraftKings, right? DraftKings launched some sports NFTs. What do you think of this, right? We don't talk stocks all the time, but, an ETF offering full exposure to NFTs. I think this is the first of many NFT ETFs, and I think this just validates the industry further, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, it's all happening very fast. And I see Square there, right? Square changed the name to Block yesterday. So again, we're seeing this happen real time. All these companies. We're in a modern age gold rush. It seems like we're in a modern age gold rush here. Everybody's running towards this crypto, NFT, social media, creator aspect of things. And yeah, I mean, seeing these big companies, just validates it. So that's great. Now, would you buy an ETF not knowing what NFTs are, or, how would that work? Is that just to get the risk? It's kind of like, do you buy a crypto NFT ETF, or do you buy crypto itself, right? How's the risk there?
Yeah, I think
don't know.
I think there's different levels, right? So if I'm a person who maybe has never bought an NFT, I don't know, maybe how to buy Ethereum, how to open a wallet, but I hear about NFTs all the time, right? I see it trending. I hear my friends talking about it, but maybe I just don't have the time or the money to get directly involved. I think this is a way you can get exposure, right?
Yeah.
Because all these stocks have exposure. They're potentially going to go up if NFTs continue, on this run. So I feel like maybe, someone who already owns NFTs isn't going to run out and, buy this ETF because they already have exposure. But I think maybe new people who are looking for that exposure, same with Bitcoin, right? A lot of people, really liked some of the Bitcoin ETF ideas because they just don't want to mess around with, opening a wallet, having the keys, right? They just want the exposure, but they don't want, the logistics of it. So, but we'll see. We can report back next week on how many assets under management this ETF has after today's first day of trading.
Love it.
All right. And then Maz, another item here we talked about recently, right, was NFT tickets for sports and concerts. And Joe Pompliano, he's a familiar name out there, anyone who follows sports. He's also the brother of Anthony Pompliano, who's a very familiar name in the crypto space. He interviewed the CEO of SeatGeek, which is a ticketing resale company. So Jack Grotzinger, and Maz, this quote is pretty cool for validation, right? The CEO of SeatGeek said that nearly 100% of all tickets will include an NFT component within the next 5 to 10 years. So every single ticket for sports and concerts, he said his belief is that it will also be an NFT in the next 10 years. Joe Pompliano's tweet about this even got a response from Mark Cuban, right? The Dallas Mavericks owner, saying how the Mavericks have NFT tickets for anyone who goes to games. Maz, what do you think of this, right? I mean, it just further validation, right? That now all the tickets in the future are going to have some sort of NFT effect.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we've seen Ticketmaster. I think that they collab with the NFL to launch the NFTs, I believe, right? So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
so they're
Ticketmaster
big in
and
there.
NFL.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
And
they're
then I
big
think
in
they
there.
did some concerts too. Swedish House Mafia, I think, had some NFTs, maybe a festival or something. Ticketmaster did NFTs for. So they're getting there. But I
Yeah.
mean, SeatGeek saying everything in the next 10 years. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, dude, it's everything being an NFT. Yeah, just being on chain record for be attending an event. That's great.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, it looks like we are out of time here. We ran a little over. Again, shout out to all the goons for joining us. Cryptoon Goonz, if you're watching this live, we appreciate your support. If you're watching this after we aired, we appreciate your support. Leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite part of the interview was. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, we appreciate your support as well. And we want to keep the roadmap going. And not only the roadmap, we also, as we just said, have another NFT show. So Maz, one more time, let everyone know about that other NFT show and who your guest is later tonight.
Yeah, so Looks Rare Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's a little more degen. We're just laid back, after hours, kicking back. And it should be fun. We have the Defenders of Dogewood tonight, and we're going to talk to them because they have a lot of controversy. People are talking about them from the launch yesterday. So it's going to be cool to talk to them and kind of get deep down into the project. So should be a good time. Tune in tonight.
Awesome. And so, yeah, don't miss it, guys. Join Maz tonight for Looks Rare, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we will be back with the roadmap next week. I know we're getting more interviews lined up. So as Maz said, share this video and let us know what projects you want to have featured on the episodes. Tell them to hit us up on Twitter. There's our handles right there on the screen. And let your Discords know, right? Go on the roadmap. Benzinga is supporting NFTs, and we want to keep doing so. Maz, that's going to do it for us. Again, looking forward to hearing your show tonight and joining the roadmap next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. And one more time, shout out to the Cryptoon squad. I'm already in the Discord, and it's a great Discord. Great community, great team. So absolutely great episode today, man.
Definitely. All right, everyone, take care and stay tuned. You got pre-market prep at the close coming up to recap the day's trading of stocks and cryptos. So don't go anywhere. Thank you, everyone.